basically in this type of circulatory system, in this open type of circulatory system, the fluid which flows is hemo hemolymph, right? So basically hemolymph is the fluid which flows, and basically analogy to this is analogy to blood, and like it works as, like, we know that hemolymph is analogy to blood, and it works like both. It's like the function of this hemolymph in their body is like interstitial, has an interstitial fluid plus blood, both. They perform a function of both the interstitial fluid and the blood, both, right? So basically, now this actually, the hemolymph is in direct contact, the fluid is in direct contact, the hemolymph is in direct contact with the tissues of the body, right? Direct contact with the tissues, and it moves through the cavity, which is also known as sinuses, or you can say here hemocoel. So basically, the hemolymph is in direct contact with the tissues, and it moves through the cavity which is known as sinuses or hemocoels. Basically, the cavity of these organisms is known as hemocoel, right? So the most common example of this open type of circulatory system is arthropoda, right? Let me write it over here. The example is arthropoda. Right? So now let's look at the example of this open type of circulation system. Let's look into one type of circulatory system, which is the circulatory system of cockroach. So now let's look at the circulatory system of cockroach. Let me draw. Okay, as you can see over here I'm having this structure, but this is not very much clear. Let me draw the structure. So basically, I'm not very good at drawing, but I'll try my best that I can explain you guys what I mean to say. So basically, this is the body, and over here we are having these spikes like structures known as tergum. So here I'm drawing basically cockroach. These tergum not visible in that one picture, I know. So this is known as tergum. This is known as tergum, right? Now over here we have a partition Okay, so this cavity is known as pericardiosynostosis. This cavity is known as pericardiosynostosis. This middle one cavity is known as perivisceral synostosis, right? And this one cavity is known as perineural synostosis, right? So this is pericardiosynostosis, this is perivisceral synostosis, and this is perineural synostosis. Over here, we are having this is a dorsal diaphragm too. Basically, this is the dorsal side. So there is dorsal diaphragm too, and basically this side is known as dorsal side. This side is known as dorsal side, and this side is known as ventral side, right? Okay, basically now over here we have some muscles. We have some muscles. Hmm, we have some muscles which are known as LUD muscles. Okay. Okay, inside this, actually in the pericardiosynostosis we have heart, and heart there are 13 chambers of heart. I'm unable to draw all of them, but I'll try. So basically there are 13 chambers. There are 13 chambers of heart, right? And the cockroach. Let me line this line to 13 chambers of heart in cockroach. Now, basically, and here we have this region which is known as aorta. This is known as aorta, and this region, basically this one region, is known as head region, or you can say it is hemo C. This region is known as hemo C. Now basically what happens is when this LUD muscle, okay, these muscles, okay, they are our muscles, they are known as LUD muscles. LV muscles, basically these are LV muscles. Now basically what happens when this LV muscles, contract, okay, I forgot to tell you one more thing, which is that okay, in the chamber of this heart there is a opening which is known as ostia. Is known as there is an opening, right? Its name is basically ostia. Ostia is the opening of the chamber of heart is known as ostia, right? So basically when this alveolar muscle contract, the chamber of the heart relax. Chambers relax, but this ostia opens. This ostia opens. And what happens basically, the hemolymph, for example, the hemolymph which is present in the perineural sinuses, the hemolymph which is present in perineural sinuses moves from perineural sinuses to the perivisceral sinuses, right? This is hemolymph, right? This hemolymph is present in perineural sinuses, then it moves to perivisceral sinuses, and from this perivisceral sinuses, so basically from this perivisceral sinuses it moves to then into the pericardio sinuses. So as you can see, from first from perineural sinuses, then perivisceral sinuses, then pericardio sinuses, right? Now as you have seen the flow of this hemolymph, now what happens basically, as you said, the hemolymph moves from perineural sinuses to perivisceral sinuses and then to pericardio sinuses, right? So this is how it happens. Now what happened is, now when this alveolar muscle will relax, now you can see over here the hemolymph is now present over here. Here we are having the hemolymph, right? Here it is filled with hemolymph. Consider this, right? Now what will happen, when the alveolar muscle will relax, the heart chamber contract and the ostia will be closed, and ostia closes. The ostia closes. Now what happens basically, the hemolymph moves from the aorta to the hemocoel cavity, then to the perivisceral cavity, to the perineural cavity, like this. How it happens basically, so blood actually moves in, blood moves in unidirection, in one direction towards the head region, then to perivisceral sinuses, then to perineural sinuses, right? So we can see over here, let me explain you. There's a hemolymph, it will go into this aorta into the this head region. This is head region, is a hemocoel. Then from this it will move to perivisceral sinuses. Then from perivisceral sinuses it will move to perineural sinuses. So as you can see how this hemolymph is moving, and you can see this is coming in direct contact with tissues. There was aorta, right? There was a vein, but now it has been transported through the tissues, right? And the hemolymph is in direct contact with the tissues, which means that this type of circulatory system is known as open type of circulatory system. I hope this is clear to you.